Yeah, today's topic is Introduction to CSS. So, yesterday we have seen Introduction to HTML in detail, but still we didn't see what is the meaning of this 5. We just have seen what? HTML, correct? But we didn't see what is this 5. I will keep that topic for next session. So what do you mean by 5? We will see later on. And in the CSS also you will find there is something called let's 3. So something called let's 3. This thing also we will see later on. So before we start, I would like to ask you a question. What do you mean by CSS? How do you define the CSS?
CSS is nothing but a styling part. So that's what so not much. Look and feel basically.
Okay. That is look and feel, correct? So what we have discussed yesterday, HTML used for structuring, CSS used for appearance, right? And some sort of positioning and other things. And JavaScript works as dynamic part. So if you want to handle some dynamism, you will use what you can say JavaScript. So these trio, this is a HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. Just a minute. HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript. So this is the trio, and everyone has some responsibilities. They have taken some responsibilities. So what we have seen yesterday about the HTML. HTML says that I will handle the structuring. CSS says that I will handle the appearance part, right? And user sees these two things. Remember that user sees these two things. Whenever you open the browser, user sees these two things. And user interacts, JAVA. User interacts with your website by using this thing. And we are understanding today this part, CSS3 or just CSS. So can you tell me how do you, or what is the full form of the CSS3? Do you know this thing? A full form of CSS3. There is a full form to the CSS3. Even the way we have seen full form of the HTML, hypertext markup language. Correct. That is nothing but what? Cascading style sheet. That is nothing but what? Cascading style sheet. So when you talk about the cascading style sheets, it is also kind of programming language, but that will handle the things which are related to styling only, right? That will handle the things which are related to the styling only. Now see, it's a style sheet language used for describing presentation and the formatting of a document written in HTML. This is very important. So before moving ahead to the actual web development, some theoretical parts need to be need to be understood very clearly. HTML, CSS3. So CSS3 cascading style sheets, right? It is a style sheet language used for describing the presentation and formatting of a document. Presentation and formatting of a document written in the HTML. In the simpler terms, CSS is used to control how web pages and other structured documents are displayed on the different devices and the screen sizes. One example they have given over here. So when you talk about the CSS, remember that it is an integral part of this HTML. CSS is going to work with the HTML tags. CSS is working with what? HTML tags. It is doing some magical operations on the HTML tag. Okay. So when you talk about the CSS, it is cascading. There is a meaning. Style, there is a meaning. And sheets, there is a meaning. Cascading style sheets. Cascading style sheets. Each word is having some meaning. So, in the context of CSS, when you say cascading, one thing can be applied on the multiple parts. So, cascading refers to the way styles are applied to the elements on the web page. Remember that. So if you have written some CSS before, you might have seen that one element, for example, consider that this is a input box or this is a button. So I want to apply some styling. So when I say styling, you can consider colors. You can consider backgrounds. You can consider a font size and lot of similar things. Lot of similar things will fall under what? Styling. Correct? So when you say styling means operating on the appearance of this element. Operating on what? Appearance. Are you getting that? Hello? All of you?
Yes.
Okay. So, but the way, consider that there are 10 different buttons. We have 10 different buttons in our page. This is one button. This is another button. This is another button. Which button to be selected? Which button to be selected is a question. And after selecting this button, we need to select this button and apply some styling. We need to select this button, apply some styling. We need to select this button and apply some styling. So the way things are getting applied, that falls under the cascading. Right? In the context of CSS, cascading refers to the way styles are applied to element on the web page. When styles conflict or overlap, the cascade determines which style to take precedence. Now consider that we have written this piece of code over here, this piece of code over here, this piece of code over here, and all these pieces are targeting this button. So this piece says that give a background, this piece says that give a coloring, a font size of the button text, right? But the question is that out of these pieces of the codes, which would be getting selected? That is decided by cascading principle. So meaning of cascading is this. Hello? Meaning of cascading. What is the meaning of cascading? This is the meaning of cascading. Do you understand that? Hello?
Yes.
This is clear, right? Now we will see this part. Styles can be applied in 3 ways. Actually, there is a 4th way also. By means of the JavaScript also we can apply style. But remember that styles can be applied in 3 ways. Styles can be applied in 3 ways. What's the first way? Inline. See, cascading means inline. Sorry, L-I-N-E. Styles can be applied inline. Styles can be applied embedded. Embedded way. And styles can be applied in the external way. Embedded, inline, embedded, and external. So we are going to see this practically, but understand just as a theory right now. Understand just this as a theory. So whenever you say inline style, if you have worked with the CSS before, you might have seen on the element itself something has been written. On the element itself, something has been written. Related to the styling, they have written something on the element itself. Getting my point? Consider that this is a button and you have written some code on the button tag itself. You have written some code on the button tag itself to make it red. Okay. So this is one way, first way, inline. Then there is second way, embedded. Embedded means this is the HTML page, and in the HTML page, in the head tag, you will write some styling related things. That is what the embedded is. You getting my point, what I'm saying? So if you want to give some color to this guy, H1, you will write style property over here, right? And you will say color red. So here only you will write. This thing is called as inline styling. Do you understand this or not? Inline styling. You will write, can you say style is one of the thing. So this style is called as, so this whole thing is called as tag. We have seen this yesterday, correct? So this whole thing is called as, just remove this part. This whole thing is called as tag. Do you agree with this or not? This whole thing is called as tag. Now every tag can have variety of the properties, right? Or you can say attributes. So whatever you see, whatever you write, like style is there. There are multiple attributes available. Specifically, as far as styling is concerned, if you want to apply any of the style on the element, you use what? Style attribute, and you give comma separated properties like color red. There are comma separated things. So this thing is called as inline styling. And if your HTML page, do not forget the definition of CSS, it works on the HTML pages. It's a style sheet language used for describing the presentation and formatting of the document written in HTML. Do not forget that everything is happening on HTML. So here also you can write style tag. Now see, we have seen style attribute and we have seen style tag. We have seen style tag, right? So here let me comment this out. See now, in the HTML, comments work in this form. If you are in a HTML, if you are in HTML, if you are in a HTML, comments work. What do you mean by comment now? First thing, can you tell me meaning of comment? What is a comment?
Additional information you can write, that will not be a part of code.
Correct. Now see, whenever you say comment, so this browser will say that I will not do anything with this thing. What it says? Browser says that I will not do anything with this piece of code. This piece of code, I don't know, or I'm not interested in this code, right? And I will not do it. I will not consider this as a part of the code. I will not consider this as a part of the code. But it would be remain there in the code, just as some markers. And this says that this thing says that you may write it for your reference, right? You may write it for your reference, or you can say for the future purposes you may keep like this. But browser says that, boss, I don't know what is this, I will not handle it. Okay, to demonstrate this, what I will do, let's open this in the finder and just copy and paste full path. Can you see it is on desktop? Inside desktop, this is the folder. Inside that there is a subfolder day1 and there is an index.html file. Correct? Index.html file. If I hit the enter, you will not see anything. So this is your page, right? You have commented this thing. Let me uncomment it. If you are on a Macintosh, command and /. What I'm saying, if you are on the Mac OS, shortcut is command / to enable the comment, to put the comment. If you are on a Windows, control plus /. Control plus /. Well, we can change this settings as well. Let's not go to that detail right now. So H1, this style color, and now refresh it. I have uncommented it, and can you see welcome to HTML in the red? So this is the HTML. HTML gives structure, and here you have applied the styling. So we are understanding the styling. Styles can be applied by using properties. Now see, I will write comment here, inline. This is a inline. So what's the format of comment? What's the format of comment? So here we can say not, and can you see this is the comment. Whatever you write inside this, that won't be considered by browser, but this is for your understanding, right? So this is the inline. So let's add it before this, inline. Now let's comment this out also. Now be familiar with the commenting and other things. And here you can say, again one more H1, and here I can say, welcome to HTML. Welcome to HTML. Second H1. Second H1. And here we can say colon first H1. And inside this, now see, we have seen inline styling over here. Now we will see here inline styling, and here we will see embedded styling. Now see, style attribute on the tag, style tag in the HTML head tag. So inside head tag, I'm writing style tag over here. Okay, and here you can write H1. Now see the syntax of CSS, H1. So here you are saying, boss, wherever is H1 inside the page, now see, same property, I will copy this property. I will copy this property and I will paste it here, color red. Same thing will happen. Second H1, can you see? Second H1. Are you understanding this? Hello? Are you understanding this or not? If you have any question, go ahead and ask me. Remember that on Monday, you need to do this thing, perform these things. You need to perform these things. Okay. So here, this thing is called as embedded. So when you talk about embedded, what is embedded? You need to write a style tag. You need to write what? Style tag in a head tag. You need to write style tag in a head tag. And then you need to write which element to be styled. You need to write which element to be styled, name of that element. Now there are presently there is only one element in your body tag. Yesterday we have seen HTML is divided into two. HTML is completely divided into two main sections, header and the body. I hope you will revise the things today. Header and the body. HTML is divided into two sections, header and the body. Body visible to you, header, it is used by other things like browser and other things. Okay, so inside that you will write style tag. Remember that. Inside that you will write style tag. And in a style tag, you will write, select the H1 element and color it with the red. Similarly, there are few more properties. Border with the blue color. Apply the border with the blue color. Okay, with the blue, you need to write solid blue. Can you see? Solid border you can see over here. There can be dotted border also. Dotted border also. See? Dotted border. Can you see that? Solid border or the dotted border. So focus on this guy. So presently you have written H1 and in a style tag you didn't write H1. Reason here, you know the element on which you have written the style tag, would be colored. But here you don't have any element access. This is a separate tag, and inside separate tag you are referring to this tag, and you are saying please color it and border it as well. Please color it and border it as well. Getting my point? Why you need to write H1? Now, we would be having a separate 3 sessions. I don't know how many, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. Just on selecting the elements. So presently you have selected this H1 by its name. But consider that there is another H1. There is another H1. Now see, both would be colored and bordered. But my requirement is that second one shouldn't be bordered, only colored. Are you getting my concern? Hello? My concern is that I have two H1s in my HTML, and out of these two H1s, only first need to be colored and bordered, but second need not to be bordered. I don't want border on the second H1. So how to do that? So there are techniques, and those techniques are called as CSS selectors and the combinators. You getting my point? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, come again.
Yeah, what I'm saying, this is the page, and on this page there are two H1s. On this page there are two H1s. What I wanted to do, to the first I want to apply border as well as red color. So this is one H1, this is another H1. Agree or not? Please reply, all of you.
Yeah.
So my requirement is that I want to give a red color to this H1 and give a border also. What I wanted to do, I want to give a red color as well as border to the first H1 only. We have two H1s, but to the second H1 I don't want border, just want red color, right? So this dotted border I don't want on the second H1. It should be only on the first H1 and red color. To the second H1 only red color is required and not border. So this concept in the CSS is called as, CSS selectors and combinators. We will see later on. It's not a point of discussion right now. We are understanding fundamentals of CSS, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this thing is called as embedded. So here I will paste it here also, embedded. This thing is called as embedded. Let's comment this out. Now see, in the CSS, comments work in the different form. Or let's comment this style tag itself, and I am commenting these two. Now third way of applying styles, external, and here we can write H1, here we can write H1. Welcome to HTML. Again we can say welcome to HTML. Third H1. Okay. External. This is the most recommended way by the web developers. External is the most recommended way. Least recommended way, writing styles directly on the element. Least recommended way. What is the most recommended way? Third one, external CSS. HTML means to be HTML only. What I'm saying? HTML page should contain HTML code only. Well, this is not the HTML code. Do you agree with me or not? This much piece of code is not the HTML code. Right? Hello? This much piece of code
Yes.
is not the HTML code. But this is CSS code. So it is a bad practice to write CSS code inside HTML code. So presently only one tag is there. Now consider there are 100 or 200 tags in your HTML code. So are you going to write 300 lines of code of CSS over here? So which will become total 600 lines of code in your HTML. Now, whenever you develop the software, you need to focus on one word: maintainability. What is that? Maintainability. So whenever you say maintainability, what do you mean by that? Maintainability. Now consider that you are writing this code today, and after 4 years you need to work on this code again. Right? You're writing this code today, and your client says that, boss, update this code after 4 years. At that time also, this code should be properly maintainable. And that's why the third way comes into the picture: external. Please do not good developers says that, please do not write CSS code in HTML code in this way or in this way or in this way. Yeah, you got it, what I mean to say?
So basically, we are trying like, okay, the HTML, whatever language, so HTML and CSS, both code should be at a different place. We can access that one like by using like some way, but yeah, it should be at a different place.
Yeah. And this concept in the software engineering is called as separation of the concern. So concern of the HTML, do not forget. We have seen three things: HTML, CSS, 3 JavaScript. HTML is concerned with the structuring. CSS is concerned with the presentation, appearance. JavaScript is concerned with dynamism, dynamicness to your websites, web apps, whatever. In the same fashion, CSS concerned with styling only, and that's why CSS code should not be the part of your HTML code. That should be in a separate file, and this thing is called as external CSS. So let's do same thing. H1, so we can say style. H1, we can say color, red, and border, or this time we can say background color red or blue, and foreground color white. Foreground color what? White. Let us refresh the page. Where is the page? Here. Refresh it. Well, nothing is getting applied. What's the reason? How do you handle this thing? Why it is not working? Which means that something is not happening correctly over here. something is not happening correctly over here. So you have created the CSS file, you have created the HTML file, but where is the linking between them? You getting my point? So this HTML is completely unaware of this CSS, or reverse is also true. The CSS says that there is a H1, but CSS asks where is the H1? Where should I find H1? Right? So linking is missing in this. So how do you link it? Link rel CSS. See now, link rel relationship of this file, in our case it's a app.css, both are in the same folder. Okay, it's not in the same folder. Oh, okay, let's create a new folder, day02, and in a day02 also I will write same file, index.html. I will move this code to the day02. Okay, let's close this. I will open index.html in day02. If I am navigating fast in the VS Code, don't worry, you will also do this thing after a few days, and you will get to know whenever you type the code, right? Whenever you type the code. So HTML head, body, app.css, something like this. So linking, so this part is called as linking. So this line, if you miss this line, CSS will not identify the H1, or HTML will say, I don't know, you didn't mention it, so I will not apply the styling on the H1. Styling related things are there in this file. So the linking means what? So app.css is a style sheet for this HTML, meaning of this line. This app.css is style sheet. This app.css is style sheet for this current HTML page. Now let's go here and again refresh it. Still it will not work, meaning for the reason this is a silly mistake. You have two folders over here. Remember that, day01, day02. And which file you have open over here? In a day01. So this is a mistake. Go to the day02, hit the enter. Can you see a blue background with white coloring? Any questions? Is it clear? So three types of the CSS. CSS is same, there is no different, but where you write, that takes what you can say importance, and that's what your these inline, embedded, and the external style sheet, right? Now meaning of style means what? Style can be any. This is style. So here you write color white, background color H1. This is one style. Getting my point? So a style in the CSS refers to visual properties and formatting applied to the HTML elements. Remember that HTML elements and tags can be used interchangeably. HTML elements, the wording, HTML elements and the tags can be used interchangeably, right? This includes the attributes such as colors, font, spacing, border, background, positioning, etc., etc. These are what? Styles, properties. There are a lot of properties available. So cascading we have understood. We have understood what is a style. Now sheets, what do you mean by sheets? These are the pages. So app.css is one sheet, right? So sheets refer to the fact that CSS rules are often organized and stored in the separate files called as style sheets. These sheets, these sheets can be linked to the multiple web pages. Just a minute. Let me plug in the charger. Okay, these sheets can be linked to the multiple web pages, allowing developers to maintain the consistent design across the entire website. There are three types of the things that we have seen: external CSS, embedded, and what? Style attribute. So here I have explained that thing again. Do you have any question?
No.
This is clear, right? Now, whenever you see any of the website, you go to any of the website, right click. This is also website, but you cannot open it on your machine because this is not hosted. This is not hosted on the public servers. This is on locally hosted on my one of the folder. So only this laptop can access this thing. But still go to the inspector. This is very important. Inspector. And here you will see complete HTML, and here you will see, and what here you will see? Styles. So you can select the element presently. See, so this style we have applied, right? Can you see this style H1, color white, background color this. So if you untick this, right, background, if you untick this, can you see this would be removed temporarily, and background color this also would be removed. Can you see both becomes black? So remember that this will not change in the file, original file, that is nothing but this. So this part which I have opened below, this part which I have opened below is called as developer console, right? Where you can this part specifically called as inspector, where you can inspect each and every element. Also you can change the things. Also you can try changing the things, right? This thing, see here. And if you see here, if you see this block H1, user defined style, can you see here? App.css. These things are what? App.css. So these two things are coming from which file? App.css, right? So these two things are coming from app.css. And can you see here user agent style sheet? User agent style sheet. What do you mean by user agent? Browser. So whatever engine we have inside the browser, we call it as user agent. So browser also gives some style. Can you see? So this is given by app.css. This is given by app.css. And this much things are given by browser. Is it clear? Display block, font size, so default font size. And remember that these things can be different for different browsers. On the Firefox, this might be different. Safari, this might be different. Might be, I'm saying. So these styles are given to you by app.css, or you can say user defined styles. These styles are user defined styles, and these styles are given by browser. Can you see? You cannot edit these things. If you see here,
So,
well, there is a tick mark.
we see like H1 is there for one is app.css, that is fine, that we are creating.
Correct.
The other one is user agent style sheet. We can see H1, that is like the style provided browser. As you mentioned, we cannot edit.
Yeah, you cannot edit.
Then there will be different nodes. As of now we are having H1, but there can be a different node. So I would say then there will be different user agent style sheets for those nodes as well.
Yeah, so if you have two elements would be, so presently h1 to the h1 these styles are applied, but to the button this might be different.
Okay.
For the button this might be different. For drop down button this might be different. So
Whatever
specific,
standard is available, I would say today, those will be available. On top of those, we are creating or we are modifying our own by using app.css.
yeah, app.css, style.css, my.css, project.css, whatever name, it doesn't matter. But concern is that browser distinguishes between these CSS and the browser knows, which proves that browser knows what is the h1, and that's why whenever browser sees the h1, browser applies default styles automatically. And browser also says that, boss, along with this I am going to consider your styles also, but your styles can be modified. Can you see? And this modification can happen from the JavaScript also. This is what dynamism is. So consider that there is one button over here, there is one button over here, a blue button or red, green, blue. I can change the background to the red, green, blue and foreground color to the white and yellow. So if there are three buttons over here, red, green, blue, background can be red, green, blue, and foreground means the text color can be white and yellow. I can select over here. So you are changing styles dynamically. You are changing styles dynamically. If I have said like that, user agent styles, there are some things, there are some properties. By using that properties, we can apply or we can modify the user agent styles also. Let's not talk about that part, but that part is somewhere WebKit properties, these things. WebKit refer, let's not talk about this, but you can modify few of the properties which are given by the browser or the user agent. Clear? Is it clear, team?
Yeah.
Any questions? Go ahead and ask me questions. Or meanwhile, let me push the code to Git so that you can see this on your screen. So you can see this on your screen. So whatever I am doing, just forget about that right now. Git ignore dot ds underscore store dot ds underscore store. Okay, and css fundamentals. CSS fundamentals. So just go through the code in 2-3 minutes. I have pushed the code. If you don't have the link of repository, I'm pasting it again in the chat box. If you don't have link in the link of the repository where I'm pasting, just check the chat box. You will get the link. Here is the link. In our documentation, I think yesterday I have given you 2 links, right? This is our project. Where is our project? Merge stack, this one. And here I can, but I made it public. This page is live.
I can see.
Okay, and here I can say links. I will modify the document, don't worry. Here is the link. Just check the code, whatever code I have written, and please let me know. You may check on your screen. I want you to go to the GitHub repository and you should check it on your computer. So here I have uploaded the link. So regularly keep eye on this. Also, I have created the playlist. So I have created the playlist. That link also I will paste it. Okay, I'll do it later on. Oh, I have started the right. Is this public playlist? Yeah, this link. Okay, here I have pasted the link. You can check the code on your computer and let me know if you have any questions. Why we have done this thing? What do you mean by this thing? You can ask me anything, no problem. GitHub.
I'm okay.
So are you confident that if I ask you to type, you can type it?
I think. Yeah.
Pretty easy, right?
So once we start practicing, we'll get more information or clarity.
Correct.
Yeah.
So one more session to go. In that session, I'm going to explain JavaScript and then you will start typing. Well, just a fundamental. I have just explained the fundamentals, the core concepts yet to come. Right? We are just discussing what is. You need to know. So once this is getting cleared in your head, right? You can imagine a lot of things. You can look at the websites in different perspective. Why these things are happening like this? You can imagine. So hence from now, whenever you open any of the website, just check, go to the view page source, whole and sole page source. You can see like this here. And next thing you will do, you will inspect and try to change the things. For example, let's go to the google.com, right? And I want to change the background color of, so this is the homework to you. I want to change the background color of this. It's a black and I want to change it. Inspector, find it out. Where is this color? So you will see some strange things are happening over here. Absolutely fine, no problem. So I need to find out, okay, this is the body. And can you see background color is, can you see to the body they have given background color? Just untick this. Still someone is giving a black color to this. Search it out, who is giving black color. Okay, this body, we have removed the background color, or let's give background color to white. Enter. Can you see you have changed the Google background to white? So whenever you open any website, just inspect it and try searching the things. Now what I wanted to do, let's, okay, just refresh the page. So what I wanted to do, can you change this logo? Search on the internet first. What is this? Okay, so this is the logo Google is giving. Can you see this? Google is giving a logo. So here we can say I have my own website and I wanted, so this is my website, here you can say, and I wanted this logo. Can you do this thing? It is possible. I want this logo to be placed at this logo. Let's try it. Can you see this is the image and source? Let's try to remove this thing, this PNG, and I would like to add my link over here. I think it will not work because it has to be re-rendered. It will not work actually because it has to be re-rendered, right? But something like this. This is the logo and I have added my code over here. It is not rendered. SRC is not rendered. That's why it is not working. So let's try to paste it here also. Yeah, can you see? So I have changed Google logo to my name. So whenever you see any website, right, just try to find out the CSS and try to change it like this, the way I have done in front of you. In the same fashion, you can try to do it. Also, whenever you watch the recording again, it would be uploaded tomorrow, tomorrow. It might be your tomorrow's end of the day, right? So I will upload this recording. So what you will do, you will watch it and make a comment on the video, so that if you get any questions or if you understand the thing, if you make any new thing, you can make a comment so you and other people also understand you have done something like that. You getting my point? This is the CSS. Whatever I have done, Google logo replaced with my logo. This is the CSS presentation, but it is not actually changed on the Google server. So whatever content have been loaded on my computer, in this tab, if you open Google in another tab, right, still it will show you the Google logo. Can you see? But as far as this tab, logo is this. Why? Because you have made change in rendered logo, or sorry, rendered HTML. So first thing to become a good CSS developer, try searching how they have implemented the things. Try to find out how they have implemented. See the master and be the master. First, see how they have implemented the things, and then try to copy it, right? And then try to copy it in your code. I'm definitely saying copy it. Until and unless you will not see and copy, you will not learn the CSS. CSS is having a lot of properties, and that can be understood only by looking at the codes. As a fresher, as a beginner, even I also, whenever I see fascinating websites, the moment I see very good website, just do what you can say, inspect and see what is happening here, how code has been written, what are the things, right? You will understand. Now here, if you look at this, you should ask me a question: what is the meaning of this? Why they have written h1 dot h1 comma dot h2 comma dot h3 comma dot h4 comma, all the headings they have written over here. right? And here dot is missing. In the beginning there is a dot applied. After that dot is missing before these things. What is the meaning of this thing? Try to understand in this way. You got my point? Hello?
Yes.
So this is it about the CSS. We will explore a lot of things when we will implement the things. Just the demo I have given. Okay?
Okay.
Fine. I have planned this much content for the today. We'll meet on Monday.
Okay. Same time.
Yeah, same time. Every day we would be having same time.
Okay.
Same time, same link.
Okay.
Fine. If you have any question, go ahead and ask me. Otherwise, we are good to wind up the session.
Seems good for today.
Say that again.
We're good for today. Like.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm disconnecting. I'm stopping the recording. Yeah. Have a nice weekend ahead, all of you.
You too, guys.
Thank you.
You too.